Hey, welcome to Take2 Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Tyreek Scoop Hampton.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mike. We're back for episode 2.
Episode 2, man. We're so excited. We got some exciting news, man. What's been going on with you the past couple of days, Mike?
Oh, man, last couple of days have been just a little up and down, but the best thing about it is I just had a baby boy. My son Amari was just born Friday on the 16th at 11:12 p.m. So I'm excited about that right now.
Last of the Mohicans, man. Congratulations,
man. Thank you.
How did Malachi adjust to being a big brother now?
He's excited, man. He's no longer the only boy on this side of the family. His mom has a son, but he's happy that I got one now, and he's ready for the responsibility to teaching him the ways of the world.
That's what's up, man. I'm happy for you, man. Congratulations to you and Q. Very excited for that, man. What else been going on with you this week?
That's it, man. Just been at the hospital, got home, getting everything geared up, ready to move on and move forward. So.
I hear you on that, man. I've been this week started with a new position, so it's more traveling than what I expected. I'm everywhere in Central Florida, so if you're familiar with Central Florida, so I'm from Orlando to Sanford. I'm just going from store to store, touching. It's like I'm shaking hands and kissing babies. That's no COVID, pre-COVID. So everything's air. But it's pretty cool though, man. I like it. It gives me more time to chill with my family than I had before. So I'm excited about that as well. So right now I'm at home. I'm not on a call or anything. I'm actually just embracing my family, getting ready to eat dinner. So that's exciting, man. It wouldn't be right if it didn't even lean. It wouldn't be right, man. So since the last time we had our first episode, we had LeBron just won his 4th ring with the Lakers.
It's the 17th championship, man. That's the most in NBA history.
Man.
That's good.
I think they're tied. Are they tied with someone now with that?
They might have been tied with Boston, I think, but at this point, I'm not really sure.
Okay.
I gotta go back to my notes and check that out there. But yeah, 17th dynasty championship for the Lakers. They're one of the most decorated franchises throughout all sports. Everybody's a Laker fan. So now the great debate has come down to who's the greatest player of all time, the GOAT. LeBron James or Michael Jordan. LeBron just won his 4th title with his 3rd different teams throughout his career. And not only that, he also had made NBA Finals 8 straight times. Hasn't been done ever.
That's what's up.
So,
I've always been I never followed any teams. I came to basketball. I think I started coming around basketball when we started hanging out. So that's and then LeBron was in high school when I picked him up. So I've always followed LeBron. So I've never had an actual team. I used to like the Nets when they were in New Jersey, but I never really had a team. So I followed LeBron from when he was in high school to his Cleveland days, to his Miami days, back to Cleveland to LA. So I don't consider myself a bandwagon. I'm just a fan of the actual guy. I would be lying if I got on here and was like, yo, man, I've been a diehard Lakers fan. No, I just like LeBron. I like the things that he do off the court, how he take care of his family, the I Promise camp he got going on, the school that he built, even sending those kids to college after they finish with his after they finish leaving his academy. I think that's pretty dope, man. So I always like LeBron as a player and as an individual. It really didn't matter what team he was on. So if you decided to go to Phoenix next year, I would still support him because I like who he is as a player.
And I think that's where the debate is. Jordan did it 6 times with one team. He's 3 final appearances on 2 different occasions. He repeated one year. and then he three-peated again. But he did it all with Chicago.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the big debate lies at. LeBron moved around from Cleveland. He didn't win his first championship until he went to Miami. They won back-to-back titles, and then he went back to Cleveland to win a title with Cleveland for 1 year. Left Cleveland again, and then he went over to LA, and then he just recently won the championship there. The debate's been about who he's been doing it with. You know, when he won in Cleveland, he had Kyrie Irving. When he won in Miami, he had Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade.
And Ray Allen one season too.
Yeah, Ray Allen. He was knocking down three-pointers. I think he set the record for most three-pointers in the finals. So it's saying that, you know, role players and, you know, Jordan had who? Pippen. And Pippen wasn't known like that until, you know, Jordan retired that 1 year, and it was his responsibility and role to carry a team for that, you know, half a season until Jordan decided he wanted to come back after he had done playing baseball. So when it comes down to the debate, I look at it as Jordan was the best player in the 90s, hands down. You know, different era, you know, defense was, you know, a whole lot more tight. You know, things you could do on defense back in the 90s you can't do in this era now. And
very more aggressive than it was in the back in the day. Watching the highlights.
Absolutely. You know, right now we're in a tic-tac league where, you know, you can hit somebody on the finger and it's a foul. But with all that, you know, goes this, LeBron's 35 years old. In this era, I definitely believe he is the best player. I don't really think there is a debate on who's the best player of all time. If you want to go off the rings, then you got to throw Bill Russell in the mix, who has
Bill Russell
11 NBA championships.
13. Who has 11?
I think he has 11 and 13 seasons.
Okay.
Matter of fact. So if you want to go on that topic, then of course you're going to say Bill Russell is the best player of all time. But then look at the era he played in as well. You know, he played in the era where there's a lot of big men. You know, now you're playing in the 90s where it was a lot of defensive players, you know, locking you down. And even the defense that was being played, you know, it was, you know, you've seen the fights. So, you know, you hear stories about the fights that happened between a lot of the most common players in that era as well. And then take it now, you know, a lot of people are building their team around the three-man team. You know, you had LeBron, but LeBron had AD. And, you know, then they were able to pick up other players along the way. You know, every team now has at least two franchise players who can go ahead and start franchises with other teams on their own and be built around. But I look at the fact that LeBron is 35 years old. And I respect his game. You know, I respect what he does on and off the court. He's definitely represented the league well since 2003 when he's been drafted first round. So
let me ask you this question. Why do you think it's a big deal to do that everyone makes a big deal about LeBron ring chasing? I don't see a problem with that. Like if you're with a team and they can't get you to the next level and you try to remove parts and you almost got there and you didn't get it, why not go somewhere to make it happen? What's the big deal about it?
And that's the debate, you know. That's definitely where the issue lies at. You know, they did one team. You know, you don't hear anybody talking about what Kevin Durant did. You know, Kevin Durant left OKC the season after he got put out the finals, in the Western Conference Finals, by the Golden State Warriors. When that season was over, he went and signed with Golden State, the same team that put him out the finals, the year before. And he went on, he won 2 championships. You know, and now he left to go to Brooklyn. So I guess because LeBron is, LeBron James, the chosen one of the league, he gets more slack for it. And because he didn't do it one team like Jordan did. Kobe.
Yeah, but Jordan. But it's the thing though. Like if I'm gonna give it to anybody, I give it to Kobe. Kobe did it with the Lakers, all 5 rings. Jordan went to the Wizards. You see what happened with that. So if you're gonna get his man flack, like technically every team LeBron has played on, in some fashion, that he got a ring with him. He got a ring with Cleveland. No matter how long it took, but he got it. He got a ring with LA. He got a ring with Miami. But Jordan went to the Wizards, and the Wizards were trash. So if we're gonna do it like that, I don't know. I'm not really like a big basketball head, so I feel like I'll be doing a disjustice if I'm on here trying to say like I'm Stephen A. Smith and on good and well. I don't see the big deal with it. Especially me playing basketball, like I'm trash. If I hit a 3, you already know, like I'm out the game. Like I don't want to play no more.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what qualifies me on my resume to sit here and tell you how the debate with LeBron and Mike Jordan. So
yeah, and listen, that's just the gist of the conversation. Is who's the greatest of all time? I mean, you go top 3, you're going to go Kobe, Jordan, LeBron, whatever order you decide to put them in. I don't really think you can be wrong for it.
Who's your top 3? Who would you say your top 3 people is?
Well, first and foremost, I'm a Carmelo Anthony fan, so I'm always put him in that era.
Respect.
I'm playing favoritism here, but outside of that, of course, you got to put Kobe up there. You got to put LeBron up there. You got to put Jordan up there. Like I said, different people are going to give you different orders based off of their personal opinions. My thing is LeBron and Jordan are set for life. Everybody's wearing Jordan, so they're never going out of style. This guy's going to continue to make money regardless on what he's doing. It is outside of basketball. LeBron, same thing. They're going to continue to build off their name alone. I will definitely say that since 2003, when LeBron came in the league, he's represented the league very well. He's represented African American people very well on the platform that he has with basketball. He uses it not just for basketball. He uses it for social injustice. He uses it, to promote change, to help kids who are just like him. Kids like you and I, growing up. He uses it for those things. So overall, I would, give my hat off to LeBron as that, that individual and that person. So like I said, but I'm a favoritism guy, so I'm always making argument for Carmelo Anthony. So.
I think if I had to pick 3 players, I don't pick Jordan because I didn't watch basketball back then. Like I watched basketball from maybe 2001 up until now. So one of my favorite players, of course, is LeBron, but I also like Shaq. I think I always watch Shaq highlights from when he was with Orlando to when he got to the Lakers, man. Shaq was unstoppable. I never seen a big man score 60 points in the paint, no threes. So just imagine if he could pull up from the outside or take it to the hole. I think he would have been. I think he would have won more rings with the Lakers. So I got Shaq. I got LeBron, and I think my third player, of course, would be Kobe, because I like Kobe's game. And then the fact, because of social media, you get to see them on the outside. I like how he was with his wife, how he treated his wife, how he treated his kids, and the fact that he dedicated so much time after basketball to try to advance women's basketball. I thought that was pretty dope. So Kobe was definitely one of my favorite players. It's crazy because I was at work when he died, and I remember one of my coworkers. She had like a serious situation happen in her within her family, and I'm telling her like, yo, y'all picked the wrong time to have somebody hurt in your family because nobody cares, and everyone was so focused. I know it's bad, I was hesitant to bring it up, and she was like, yo, you tripping? I'm like, nah, I didn't mean it like that, but it's like I'm trying to get coverage for you, and everybody's telling me about Kobe. Nobody really cares about the job. It was like I felt like the world stood still. It was pretty crazy. But you mentioned something about LeBron with social injustice. Like, what is your take? What is your take on that? Like in our climate right now?
I'm not a political person. That's definitely not my area of expertise or anything else of that nature. I tip my hat off to everybody who took a stand in their own way. I think it's something that definitely needs to be addressed in whatever town or city, whatever you live in, and it's something that needs to be fixed. I definitely don't agree with what's happened, nor do I agree with what's been going on in spite of it. From the riots and things of that nature. But with all that being said, I definitely think it's something that we need to figure out a way to stop. To become more knowledgeable about when it comes to these crimes that are going on, especially crimes against minorities in general. I feel like we have enough. We deal with enough just being black. It's tough. The odds are already stacked against us. Depending on where you live at, as far as your area, your town that you grew up in, and things of that nature. So to have that on top of it being scared to go out the house or just to walk down the street because the color of your skin, I definitely think that's something that needs to be adjusted in our areas of the world in general. You don't hear about it no more just going on in black communities. You got stuff going on in Milwaukee. I didn't know even black people in Milwaukee, but
other than the Bucks.
Yeah, so these kind of things, are just, it's tough, being a father, you want to tell your son, it's okay, but, first it was about Trayvon Martin and red hoodies, now it's just, it's anything, you can't reach in your pocket for a piece of gum now, so it's something as simple as that, where it shouldn't be just shoot first, ask questions later, and verdict be not guilty. So
see the whole Trayvon thing for me was weird because I remember living in Florida when it happened, and then when it finally blew up, and how the company that I was working for, how it pretty much just divided everyone. So people that you were cool with, no one cared if you was a Democrat or Republican. I felt at that time here in Florida, it wasn't really a big deal at the company I was working for. But when that situation happened and it gained national news, it was like it brought a big divide. And people who I thought were friends and associates were like, listen, man, it's either you with them or you with us. And I'm like, it's not like that. It should be right or wrong. You had a man who followed a kid, who was told by police to stop following the kid. He kept following him, and he tried. And when the kid was scared and defended himself, you shot that kid. You should have went to jail.
Yeah,
because you were in the wrong. And I didn't say this whole time explaining it. I didn't mention any race. I'm just giving it to you how it was. If my 17-year-old kid is walking, they're on a phone and they're nervous, and some random person is behind them, following them, we don't know what's going on. What you gonna tell your kid to do? Listen, he get close up on you, you do what you gotta do to defend yourself. And it was crazy. I remember going to my brother-in-law's house. He lived in the condo in the community where everything happened. And his backyard is where Trayvon was essentially killed. So I remember going out there. This is a year later, and I'm out there, man, and it's like, it gives you like an eerie feeling because it's like, man, this shouldn't be a historical landmark in 2013 at the time. For me, like, I shouldn't be standing out here like, I can't believe somebody lost their life and nothing wasn't done. And then I wrestled with the fact that living in Jersey, especially like Asbury, Neptune, you know that if you going into deal, you got to watch yourself because the police are going to pull you over. If you're going into Wall Township, you got to watch yourself because it's Freehold Township. You know, in certain places that you can't go because they're going to pull you over simply because of who you are. And no one wants to admit it, but it happens now. Even in 2020. Like, there's no difference, and it's a shame. And you would think, it would change after a while with all this inclusion stuff that we're trying to do, trying to come together, but it's not happening. And what bothers me is that you hear, well, what about black on black crime? We know what we're dealing with. For me, when you look at the statistics, if you're in that environment and you guys are having issues with each other, it's not a black on black crime. It's that environment. It's white on white ignorance. Like in Manalapan, when a guy had set his brother's house on fire, it was a white guy. I don't know if you're familiar with that story, but it's a few years back. Yeah, this guy wanted money from his brother, so he set his brother's house on fire and he shot his brother. But it wasn't black on black; it was two Caucasian gentlemen. And it's crazy, man.
Those are the things that doesn't get televised. Those are the things that don't get the big recognition. It's only things that happen to us, that become such national recognition for that situation. And I think that's the other issue. Another issue, why when people get hit, shot, or whatever the case may be, and our skin color, it becomes such a big thing. But we so quick to belittle what Lester did, what Johnny did. And it's only on a local thing. Or you just like, oh yeah, this happened. Or breaking news, African American father shot, getting out of his car or something, these things.
But they don't. But that's the thing, though. Like in the news, it won't be like. So Johnny was getting out of his car and Johnny was shot. Johnny can own his own business. He can be a great husband, a loving dad, and they'll be like, Johnny, 25 years ago, he got arrested for stealing a bag of Cheetos from 7-Eleven, was killed today. Like, why are we bringing up that man's past? If that had nothing to coincide on what exactly happened. That was an innocent man who lost his life. That's what we should be discussing, the fact that these children don't have a father anymore. His wife has to bury her husband and find a way to move forward. Instead, it always happens with minorities where they got to constantly bring up something that happened in their past and for it to make sense for today. It doesn't work that way, man. That person deserves justice like everyone else. So if someone from our community shoots somebody and they did it, you need to bring them to justice. It's not about snitching, but to give that family comfort. I want justice for Breonna Taylor, and I also want justice for Quiana Dees. It's the same thing. There's no difference for me. It's like what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And I feel like sometimes we add too much creamer in the coffee, so it ain't strong enough no more. Because we don't want to face the reality that it's our own people. Sometimes they're doing these crazy crimes out here, man. But what can you do about that?
Yeah, we just gotta stay protected and stay knowledgeable and take everything one day at a time. That's the tough part. We are scared to get pulled over now. Or even walking past the cop. Hey sir, how you doing? Don't shoot. We make it as a joke, but it's literally the new norm. It's simple as wearing a mask now. It's just the new norm. So
it was even like today. I went to go. So you can vote early. Of course, you can vote early in certain states. So Florida was up today. So I went. My wife went earlier today. I had a conference call, so I couldn't go. As I got off the conference call, I went to go vote. And I get there, man, and there are people, not police officers, but they're just people like looking at me crazy. And I'm like, man, I'm just exercising my right to vote, just like you have. I didn't come in there with a Biden shirt, with a Trump shirt, nothing like that. They got it over their mask. These people are excited to vote because they're voting their interests. And it's like they were looking at me crazy, man. Like, take this pamphlet when you go in here, read about this person. If I gotta read about you when I get to the polls, I didn't do my homework. I'm wasting my time. It's like you telling me that I know I got a quiz today, and I had 2 weeks to prepare, and I'm sitting here like, now what should I do? It doesn't work that way, man. You got to do your homework. So last week, man, let's get some lighter news, man. Get this dark cloud off. Last week we were talking about the businesses for our children. So how's everything been for Nyla so
far? She started school back.
Okay.
So she's really it's there, but it's not there. She's more focused on school right now. I think that was something she decided to do for the summer at this point, or something she was excited to start. You know how kids are,
Yep.
One day
you gotta stay on them.
One day it's the piano, next day you want ice cream. But for the most part,
that's a cool part about being a dad, though. Like, they get the dream, and you like, just give them money and keep it moving.
Yeah. That's
that.
The fun part. That's the fun part about it. Like I said, she started school today. First day back in the building type thing. So that was a little exciting for her. A little different. She's in middle school now. So
middle school?
Middle school, yeah, 6th grade.
Oh my gosh.
6th grade.
Wow.
6th grade, yeah. So.
Yeah, man, it's kind of weird, like them actually going into a school, a brick and mortar. When I'm used to my kids just doing virtual school this whole time. Even with the baby, everything is virtual because we're using ABC Mouse and all these other apps for her, to learn like her basic fundamentals for education. But it's just weird, man, actually going into a brick and mortar. Not for the kids. I'm pretty sure they miss their friends and everything.
Yeah. So as far as as far as business wise, it's still there. If she needs to dust it off or anything, but I think right now she can get her feet wet with school and making sure that her first year in middle school is definitely the best year if you're starting off on the right foot. So.
Absolutely.
That right there is definitely on the back burner. So,
yeah, man. I've been thinking. I was explaining to Sky tonight this morning. We were going over ideas because Sinai had launched a shirt for voting. So the voting shirt, like it was going through the roof. So everyone's here in Central Florida picking the shirts up. I thought that was pretty dope. The Sky likes to give back. So what we were doing once a week, we were going to like local fire departments, local EMTs, schools, and she was giving out the cupcakes. Like it was just her way of just pretty much like a community service thing for Sky. So we were talking about ideas, and I remember, and so me and my wife was talking about doing something, and I said, whenever you get ready to venture out on something that someone else has already done, the first thing you hear is, oh man, they biting off of me. And it's like it's never that. And I got a cousin, man, she's like a jack of all trades. Any business you name, she's done it. And with her, what I noticed is that when she finds out someone else is doing the same thing she's doing, she always connects with them, and she starts giving them like free promo on her page. Something that I've never seen before that I like to actually model after. And what I said to my wife this morning was, just imagine if the makers of Dodge decided not to make cars because Ford already made cars already. Or what if what if Kodak decided they didn't want to do film because Canon had cameras? Like it doesn't work that way. Like like you may have a vision that may line up with somebody else's vision all the way in Utah. We don't know that. Y'all have 2 different products. It could serve the same purpose, but you may have better benefits than what they may have, or they may just have something that you don't have. That's cool. Yeah. I just get tired of it. I get tired and I get irritated of seeing people like, if you decide that you want to go into doing nails, I'll give you an example. If you want to just do nails, and they're like, well, such and such is already doing nails over here. It doesn't matter. They didn't just make one polish, one nail polish and say, okay, here's the polish for Keisha, and now Lynn can't use it. It doesn't work that way. It's all different colors and different flavors. You pick your flavor, you keep it moving. And that's one thing that was just kind of irritating me, but I kind of use it as motivation. Like, listen, man, there's always going to be somebody who does it better than you. Look, we were just talking about how basketball. Like, I feel like when the dust settles, because LeBron is still in the NBA, he has a better chance of being better than Jordan. You can't forget what Jordan did. It's like you can't forget what Chamberlain did or what Bill Russell did. The people before him, they didn't just make one basketball. That's why they have more than one team, and that's what it is with creations. Like, it's not about biting off somebody. It's legit. Like, yo, I thought about this. I feel like I can do it. I'm gonna go from there. I think Nyla bags is dope, and when the next kid decides to come up and do bags, like, ain't nobody gonna hate on him. Like, yo, listen. Well, what you doing? Maybe let me help you make better decisions than I made when I first started. That way you don't have to do what I did and make mistakes. Here I am to help you out. Why we can't be that way? Why do we have to be in a society where we don't have each other's back? Because I look at like our Mexican brothers and sisters, man, it's not about piling in a house with each other. It's them like, let's go ahead and let's take 10 years and let's save our money. So when we all leave the nest, we're going into houses. We're not going into apartments. We don't have debt that we're worrying about. We don't have to put anything on credit. We're paying with cash because we just saved our money and we didn't came together. I don't understand why we don't all think that way.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. We definitely have a crab in the barrel mentality when it comes to pretty much anything that somebody else is doing. I mean, it's like, are you a hater? You hating because I did that. Or why you can't do it on this side of town? Or why you got to do it? Find something else to do. Like you said, if it was only one car company, you wouldn't know what the other cars feel like to drive. Every car drives, but every car don't drive the same way. A Porsche don't drive like a Mustang.
Yep.
So when it comes to certain things, that's the downfall, and that's the problem that we as people have in general. Like you said, instead of building business or collaborating, it's always like, no. Oh, well, he's selling his for $10. All right, well, I give mine for $7. Just keep coming back to me. Okay, cool. And then one day that price gonna change. Like, come on. We know how it goes, especially when you're dealing with certain type of people. But
absolutely, man.
Yeah. But let me ask you a question. As being a father, and seeing your daughter doing business and things of that nature, and seeing the fact that she's doing something at an earlier age than what, you ever even thought about doing, what advice do you give her now that you couldn't give yourself back then to do?
Well, I would say this. When Sky started Cupcakes a few years back, I know it was earlier than when she was 9, but I'm just going to use the 9 as a reference point. When I was 9 years old, man, my mother was on drugs. My father was on drugs. I was taken out of their home and me and my sisters, we were put with my aunt. And we didn't have the support that Sky has now. And I think it's because most of her family, or most of my wife's family, are entrepreneurs. Like her mother, like if you've ever had a conversation with her mom and her dad before he passed away, like her dad always had a good job where he made pretty good money. Her mother was a nurse. She always had a good job where she made pretty good money. but she always decided that she always wanted to work for herself. So she's had numerous of business. My wife's brother, they've owned companies. My wife has owned a few companies. So what it did was,
Okay, that's big. That's big. Uh,
Yo, can you hear me, Mike?
got you. I'm back.
All right. So what I was saying was the entrepreneur bug bit my daughter pretty early. So what I tell her now is that, you know what? Don't settle on your dream. You know, it's so many times we find ourselves. Well, I can't speak for anyone. I can speak for myself because I watched my grandmother just work one job for 40 years. And if the money wasn't coming in from that job, that's all she cared about.
Yeah.
And she had money in the bank, but she didn't want to touch it because she grew up on hard times, and she was like, I'm just never going back. So what it did was it kind of crippled her. But with my children, they're like, listen, man, we're going to dream. So I don't want to block my children's blessings by putting my fears that I had growing up because I didn't have someone like my wife had who was pushing her to be great or pushing her to say, get to the next level. Like my grandmother believed in education. When my mother got clean, my father got clean. They believe in education and working hard, but it was nothing like somebody saying, get it on your own. Because I like whenever we had to go on vacation, my wife, she can just up and go because she could take the business wherever she's going because she owns the brand. With me, it's like I gotta put in PTO time for someone company. I'm making you millions of dollars, and then I
calculate how much money you gonna miss while you're going.
Exactly. And the crazy thing is, like, one thing my children learned this recently was that don't put all your eggs in one basket. I sat there.
Absolutely.
I sat and I'm making money for these companies. I'm bringing in people. I'm doing referrals. And when I put my 2-week notice in, they asked me, could I give them a month? I said, I can give you a month, absolutely. But I watched this same company just say, you know what? I want to fire somebody, and they just let them go. They didn't give that person a 2 weeks notice or give them a 30-day notice. They just said, once it's over, it's over. So what I'm telling my children now is that, listen, no one controls your destiny. You are in complete control of what you want to do in your life. If you want to go to school and get that degree, you go ahead and get that degree. You don't got to go to a fancy college to get that degree. If you want to stay at home, you want to go to a technical college, then you do that. But I'm not going to tell my children when they're 18, hey, it's time to leave the nest. Like, how can I expect my children to be great and expect them to actually put their best foot forward if they're worried about what bills they got to pay at 18? I don't think that's right for any kid. I think that it can cripple you. And for us, you know, we had to work on the fly. Like, you know what? It is what it is. We're going to do what we got to do. We're going to keep falling. But how much of secure if you would have felt if you would have been like, you know what? I don't have to leave the nest until I'm established and I got some money saved up. And I know that my credit's good because I'm not putting all these crazy things in my name. I'm making the best decisions because my mother and my father showing me what to do. And I don't make all the best decisions. Like I legit lean on my wife, like, all right, because I'm trying to go into a business now, you know, we're doing merch, but I've never done it. I've never had to do business before. I've always worked for somebody, so they control money. And now where we were discussing earlier today, where like I'm not ready to give that power to anyone anymore. I don't want them to control me. I want to be able to control my own destiny. And right now, I feel like that's what we're on the path to do. we're two episodes in, and we got about maybe a good 300 viewers who watched the video that we put out so far, and who's commented on our Facebook and on our Instagram. And what I look at it is as if, like, you know what, right now we're putting out these videos, and maybe we're not going to get 1,000 views on this one or the one before that one. But when that video click and it hit, and they come back and say, look at the work they did, look at where they were at and where they came from, and look how they took control of their destiny. I think all of our children say, you know what, they should have did it. Because we talked about this last week. Man, we're behind. Like, we should have done this years ago. Yeah. All the things that we thought of, all the skits, we just watched it drift away. It's like, man, I'm not doing that no more, man. I'm gonna put it out. I know it's good content. I know it's coming from the heart. I know what we got to bring to the table. And only thing we can go is up from here, and that's it, man. So back to your question. All of that, back to your question. What I'm saying to Sky and Sanaa and Elijah and even Savannah with her modeling is that don't give up. Don't put your eggs in one basket. It's okay to fail. Like, I know you remember this one. God doesn't give F's, he gives D's for do-overs.
Yeah, that's good.
So listen, man, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it over. Give it. And if you want to try something else, you go ahead and try it. I'm not going to stop my kids from dreaming. I'm not going to stop them from believing. You know, and even like with Santa Claus, I made it my mission to tell my kids it wasn't Santa Claus. So I'm like, they ain't gonna know that some random person gave them gifts. No, man. If they want to believe, I'm gonna let them believe. When I feel like it's getting too much, then you can gently tell them the truth. But you don't have to kill your kid's dream because someone else did it to you.
Yeah, that's important. You know, my daughter's starting out to become an entrepreneur, and you know, her mother, you know, does her thing on the side, and you know, we didn't have these opportunities. You know, the support was always there, but the execution was always stuck. You know, it always stuck. You know, for what we did. You know, back in, I want to say 5th grade, I made a decision to sell candy. You know, my mom would give me lunch money, you know, for the week. That I would take that money and flip it, you know, street turn, you know, into something else, because it was easy for me to get to it. You know, it was a hot thing on the market for me to sell real quick. You know, and it's something I got to try to ask my mom for. You know, like, hey, mom, can I borrow $20? Can I have $10? Can I have this? Can I have that? So I made a decision in my head. You know what? I could do something with this. And doing something with this means it's going to cost something.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to some work is going to be taken. You know, when you selling candy, you don't do profit and loss margins. Or, you know, how much is this person selling it for, because I can get it cheaper over here, then I got to sell it higher to get it if I buy it from this person. You know, I didn't look at it like that. I was like, hey, you know, candy was 10 cents. I was selling it for $0.25. Hey, it was worth it. You know, so at that time, it was something that was hot. Oh, okay, great. You know, got candy going on. Got the little name called Candyman. You know, so it was working. You know, it was building. You know, I had what I needed. My mama, hey, go your money for lunch. I'm like, hey, I paid for lunch for 2 weeks already. And it's so good to say, even though it was just 40 cents a day, and I was 11 or 12 years old, it's so good to say, hey, mom, keep those $3 because I already paid for my lunch for the next 2 weeks.
Yep.
She had no idea what I was talking about, but for the most part, it was something that was good to see and good to hear. You know, she paid a couple of bucks. You know, but you know, as time got older, you know, things changed. People didn't want candy no more. What they wanted music. You know, so what I started doing. You know,
that baby making music.
Yeah, there you go. I started making CDs for people. You know, somebody like, yo, I got this shorty coming over. Say no more, brother. Play number 3 and let it ride all the way through. You know, so those kind of things was something that were easy to get to.
Wait. Let's not skip over the fact that we're talking about you making CDs in high school. This is like 03 to 06. When you had the mixtape game on lock.
Yeah.
You the reason why we didn't win football games, man. You can't win a football game listening to Ray J One Wish. Or Ciara and Die. We have football camp and these trailers emotional, like, yo, let me use your phone at the 9 o'clock. You the reason why we went 5 and 6, man. Yeah, Ja, they listening to Dipset and Huey. They listening to Dipset. We over here listening to Cupid 112 in our dorm.
Hey, man, the
reason why we lost, man.
We got to sleep at night. That's all that matters, man. You know, and we was up at 5 a.m. practice feeling good and fresh. So it was
like,
good.
yo, you gonna put songs on her iPod?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Bro, man, you the reason why we lost, man. I'm gonna call Coach Stinson, like, bro. I bet you didn't know this, right? You talking about I didn't want to hit the pants hard enough, Coach Foz. It was Mike. I'm over here listening to emotional music, man. I'm in my feelings, man. I can't tackle nobody. I'm in love. That's the problem. I'm in love, man. That's the problem, man. I remember you talk about entrepreneur. You talk about entrepreneur. I was selling guzzlers.
Oh yeah.
$3-4 you buy them from the store. You sell them for $1 at the school, and then I got caught. So I'm like, man, I'm hit because I got like 100 juices on me, like I'm out here moving weight. And the security guard, I'm not gonna say his name. He was like, yo, give me 2 juices per period, and I'm gonna let you go. So 5th, 6th, and 7th period, I hit him off with 6 juices, and I'm out here flipping his money. I mean, I had a good 2-week run. It was some decent money.
Yeah. And with the CD thing, man, I definitely believe that we, come to think of it, you put me out of business, man, because you started using iPods.
Oh.
You started doing MP3 players,
MP3 players,
and your nanos and stuff of that nature, and you kind of put me out of business, man. Matter of fact, because I was rocking, selling CDs $5 a buck.
But you figure you had your CDs. What was you at the most? You can get maybe 17 songs on that CD.
Yeah.
You talking about 50 songs on that little nano, or that SanDisk one that you put the AAA battery in the back.
Yeah. SD chips, man.
Yeah, you had a good run. Only rap song you had on it was Summer in Miami.
Yeah. That was a song, man. That's all my shit about. Summer in Miami was hot for 4 seasons, man.
Oh my gosh, man. You're a clown.
Yeah. But saying those kind of things where as the game changed, we had to evolve.
Yeah.
And come up with new ways to stay relevant. And I think that's important when teaching our daughters or anybody that's young and trying to be an entrepreneur. You have to stay relevant to what's going on.
Yep.
And that's why, I give people who, sell their personal stuff to Collinswood, all these other things, they find ways to stay relevant by getting things that are going to catch people's eye, no matter what the price is. And that's important when you're starting the business. That's important when you are trying to build clientele. These things keep people coming back. So, nobody want to buy a CD no more. Nobody wants to even buy iPods no more, things like that, because now the phones that we have, these things are coming with apps that you can download music to, and you can get it for free. So, like, who needs cable no more when you got Hulu? YouTube TV, why get a big bundle when you can buy internet now? So,
all you need is internet now. You don't need nothing else.
Exactly. So, you got to find ways to stay relevant and stay on top of the game with everybody else doing. So that's definitely the things that, I try to teach my daughter and also for myself,
Yeah. All right, man. Let's go. We got a few minutes left. Let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and hit you with this quote of the week. I've been working on it since I heard you drop that hot fire last week. So, I didn't want to have.
I got a lot of love for that too. Actually, I got a lot of love for that.
Yeah, man, you killed the game with that. So this week, this is. I knew I was on point with this because I had watched a sermon, and the sermon was pretty much based upon what I was actually talking about. And I was like, okay, that was just confirmation, so I know that I'm on the right road. So this week's quote of the week is "Run your race." Oftentimes we are in our own lane, running our own race, and we take our eyes off of what's in front of us to see what's going on around us. The moment we do that, we instantly lose sight of what's important, and we start to drift off our course. Sometimes life can take you off your race. You see someone doing the same thing you're doing, and they just may be more successful than you are. That's no reason to stop running and accept defeat. Your race is simply your race. There's no time limit on when you can be successful. If you struggle finishing your degree, get back up and finish your race. If you're a writer like myself, and you had a few years of writer's block, get back up and finish your race. If you're struggling with an addiction and you fell short, get up and run your race. If you made a few mistakes, get up and run your race. Only you determine when your race is done. That's what I got.
That's dope,
run your race, man. Run it at your own pace. You see these. I'm not a sprinter, so I'm a jogger, you know. Or I'm a quick runner. Like I can give you a quick 20 yards. After that, it's over. So that's my race, man. You need me to get you to the end zone. You need to get me to the 80-yard line first. I can't help you within the first 80, but you need me to get you to that basketball. Listen, man, if the game is 18-18 and we need 21, hit me in the corner. I got that guaranteed 3 for you. That's my race. But for the first 10 minutes of that game, I can't help you. That ain't me, bro. That's all you with the fake, with the right, with the left, because nobody knew you was left-handed. And I don't tell nobody. So it's like, that's you, man. So that's how I am. That's what I got for me, man. Running my own race. And I say the same thing I said to my wife as well. She does her own thing. It's like, and God's going to bless those businesses. We don't do the exact same thing. Run your own race.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do. Yeah. And then when you have success, it came because you did what you needed to do. You laid the groundwork and the foundation to be successful. No one can take credit for that. So that's what I got.
Big. That's big, right, man. That's definitely good stuff.
Appreciate it. All right, Mike, tell them how you can be reached, big dog.
Oh, you can follow me on Instagram, Good Guy Drake. You can follow me on Facebook, name simple, Michael Drake, nothing else. You could definitely like the Take2 page and look out for, questions and topics and things of that nature on there.
All right. And you can find me on Instagram at scoop_Hampton. Also, you can see us on our Take2 Instagram page. In the process of getting everything together, that's Take2 Crew Podcast. That's on Instagram. Follow us and we'll follow you back. You can also see us on YouTube. Just type in Take2 Podcast or Tariq Scoop Hampton. It'll take you to the videos. Eventually, all the videos are going to be on a Take2 Podcast channel. And then also, you can catch me on TikTok.
You got it.
I ain't make a video yet, but you can catch me on TikTok, though.
I started to do it real simple.
Yeah.
I started doing ones about my kids. My first one, I got 400 likes. 400 views, man.
Oh, that's crazy.
Still hitting, bro.
Yep, so Scoop_Hampton on that as well. Then on Facebook, I'm Tariq Scoop Hampton. Also, like we mentioned last week, as we're in the process of building this podcast, a few things that we just happen to need. So if you like our podcast, if you like the content that we're putting out and you want to contribute to us, we will have Take2 Crew shirts coming out soon. But you can also hit us up on our Cash App. My Cash App is Ty Hampton 52. Mike's is
ASAP Mikey 87.
All right, man. You can hit us up. Listen, we need mics. We're gonna get brand new headphones, man. It'll help with our merch. It'll help with everything. We do appreciate the donations that we received so far. Special shout out to you guys. You know who you are. So I know that no one wanted to mention who it was, but we do appreciate it though. We look forward to giving you some fresh content. This video is going to be up. It's going to be on all streaming platforms by the end of the week. I think we were still waiting for Apple Podcasts at the time, but we're on Spotify and a few other markets as well. It'll be listed below. But we do thank you for your time. Thank you for watching the video. Any last words, Mike?
Just thank you for watching, man. This is something that we've been talking about doing for a long time, and something we have to push ourselves to keep doing. You know, like I said, the first one we got some good hits back for. If anybody has any advice on how to make this thing better, you know, we're definitely looking forward to do that too.
Oh, topics. We'll take topics as well.
Yeah, questions, topics, current events. You know, we talk about bringing in our significant others. I'm excited about that. You know.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. And I also, if you actually want to be a guest on a podcast, just hit me and Mikey up, and then we'll let you know what the schedule is going to be, and then we get you on here, get you on here, get some good laughs with us, you know, get you a little flavor that you want to bring. We definitely appreciate it.
Absolutely, definitely looking forward to spending some time with extra people, man. It'll definitely be fun.
All right, man. It's been real. Y'all have a good night. Peace.
All right, see you guys later, man.